everyone! So I'm back from my break. It's unbelievable. I took a break from filming. I uploaded like only one video per week. Normally I upload 3, which is actually what I'm gonna go back to. I'm gonna go back to 3 videos per week, so definitely subscribe if you wanna watch more of my videos because more is coming and I'm doing something special this month. I'm basically gonna be making videos only on the topic of self-love. And so it's just, I called it Self-Love Month because I actually want to try something that's gonna be like, for every month I'm gonna have a certain topic. And this month I decided to talk about self-love, which is something that is so close to my heart. And so yeah, if you want to see all that, definitely stay tuned on this channel. And another thing I'm actually starting today is something I'm gonna call cozy talks. I know that a lot of people have like coffee talks. They always just talk about like advice videos, they do Q&As and all that stuff, and I just decided to do something like that. It's just gonna be called cozy talks, which is why I have hot chocolate here. Let's start off my cozy talks and this self-love month with talking about my self-love journey. When I was like around 12 and 13, I absolutely hated myself. Basically, I feel like we've all been there because in this world, we don't learn about self-love, like, ever. We often get criticized and shamed and all that, and no one teaches us about self-love at school. No one ever like mentions it, and I feel like this has gotten better on social media and on YouTube. Like, there are people who actually talk about self-love, and I mean, I'm talking about it right now, and it's getting better, and I really believe that it's gonna keep getting better, but at the same time it's still pretty freaking shitty, and I think we need to do something about it. But the great thing is, we can start with ourselves, because self-love comes from within us, and so we can at least love ourselves, and if we love ourselves, we're gonna start changing like the entire like system, or however you should call it. Self-love is like one of the most, even maybe the most important like kind of love in our life, because you know, you don't want to hate the person you spend your entire life with, because just anyone could leave from our life, but we won't, you know, we're gonna spend our entire life with ourselves, and that's just like, do you want to hate the person that you spend every freaking second of your life with? I don't think so. None of us do. Like, I mean, who would want that? And so I feel like most of my childhood, till I was like 11 or 12, I was just living kind of on autopilot. You know, I had friends and I just like went to school and did normal things, and I didn't really think about anything like this. I don't know, maybe I complained about being fat or something like that like a few times, but I don't even think so. Like, I wasn't very aware of myself, which I mean kind of like is bad, but at the same time I didn't just care about anything, or you know, because I wasn't self-aware, I just didn't even hate myself. I just didn't feel like anything towards myself, like just totally neutral. But then when I got a little older and more self-aware, around 12 and 13, I absolutely hated myself, and it was the classic like, I felt like I was completely ugly, I felt like my body was disgusting, and I was a horrible person, and all that stuff. And when I became like more self-aware, became aware of the fact that I actually hated myself, I thought to myself, I want to be happy. Back then it was all I wanted, and I was so unhappy. I was so freaking sad. It was horrible, honestly. Like, there wasn't even anything that happened. Like, I lost basically all of my friends, but that happened over time, and I don't think I even realized that back then. But it was the worst time of my life, and I just absolutely hated myself, and so I desperately wanted to be happy. I just started thinking, I spent more time like on my own, and I just thought like, what could I do to feel better? What could I actually do to get closer to being happy? And so I kind of decided or just figured out or whatever that I needed to start with myself. The self-love journey kind of began, and I don't even think I was like aware of it at first, that it was actually what I was working on, but I changed a lot. There was a lot that I really didn't like about my personality, a lot I didn't like about who I was, and so I just worked on becoming a better version of me. And what I actually did the most, basically, is I went through quotes on Pinterest and stuff like that. I watched a lot of YouTube as well, but quotes are kind of what got me through that time, and just spending time with myself and trying to be a better person. And that quote, like, every day try to be the best version of yourself or something like that, it really stuck with me. And that's what I really, really try to work on, along with be your own best friend. Because at first I started working on changing myself, and I'm definitely not telling you that you need to change, but if there's something that you don't like about the way you behave, you can always change it. You know, I was a total bitch. I was a choleric. Like, I got angry at like every stupid thing. I was stressed all the time. I worried about random shit. I argued over random shit. I was rude to everyone around me even though they didn't even do anything. And it was absolutely horrible. And I just noticed and like figured out, or however I should call it, that I was not a good person. Like, it wasn't that I hurt anyone, but I mean, words are freaking powerful, and I sometimes didn't say nice things, and I just wanted to be kinder. I wanted to be better, not only for me, but for others too. And so I just tried to work on that. I tried to work on my anger, I tried to work on my like stressing out and all that stuff, and I just worked on becoming calmer and kinder and better. And that took me years, you know, it didn't just happen like this, but I just spent a lot of time with myself, like I said. I read through quotes daily, and I just worked on becoming better. And now, if you asked people who knew me back then, they couldn't believe who I am now. And if you ask people who know me now, they wouldn't believe that I was like that back then. And I've changed so freaking much. Because now I'm actually really calm most of the time. Like, my dad tells me all the time that I'm just told to chill and relax all the time, and I just don't worry about anything. Or, of course I do sometimes, but just I don't worry much at all. I'm really calm, and I don't get angry that easily anymore, and I'm not a choleric, and I am not that rude anymore. When I was kind of getting closer to being done with like changing myself, changing the things that I absolutely hated and just being better, I worked on loving the person that I was, and just, yeah, I don't know, like the quote that I mentioned earlier in the video, be your own best friend, it's something that I've already mentioned on this channel. It's what got me through, like, when I hated myself and I wanted to stop, and I really didn't want to hate myself anymore, and I was aware that I hated myself and I wanted to change it. At first, I didn't know how, you know? You're used to putting these horrible thoughts in your brain. You're used to being hard on yourself and telling yourself you're stupid and horrible at everything and ugly and all that, and you need to work on changing that voice in your head, which is what I worked on. And what helped me immensely is that I imagined, like, would I say that, what I'm telling in my mind, would I say that to a little girl or to my best friend? And of course you wouldn't, you know, you wouldn't tell them you're a worthless piece of shit, you're a complete idiot, you're disgusting, you are a horrible person. You wouldn't tell them that. And so you need to work on stopping that voice before it can say anything. That voice will always be there, but you just need to tame it and replace it with a much more positive voice. And like I said, this really helped me to imagine, would I tell that to my best friend? And if the answer was I wouldn't, then I just didn't tell myself that either. And just treat yourself as you would your own best friend, because I'm sure you don't treat your best friend as you treat yourself. And I think that we should treat ourselves as if we were our own friend. And that might sound weird, but it's actually like, why don't we all do that? Because like I said, we are the only person we're gonna spend our entire lives with, and so why should we hate ourselves? I don't understand why we don't like learn about this, why this isn't a normal thing, but that's why I want to make all the videos of this month about self-love, because it's immensely important and we all need to work on it. And I now feel so much better, and I can say that I actually really love myself now, because even though I know I'm not perfect, I'm okay with that. There's always just something awesome about you. There's something awesome about me, and sure, we all have flaws, but that's what makes us human. Self-love is not selfish, it is not arrogant, it is not narcissistic, it is just absolutely necessary, and it is none of these things, because, you know, is loving your best friend selfish? Of course not. And so if you love someone else, why should you hate yourself? It just doesn't make sense. So technically, the fact that we hate ourselves is selfish towards us. We all need to learn to love ourselves, and it is absolutely not easy, but it's gonna be so freaking worth it. And just give it time and keep trying to be a better person every day, and keep trying to replace that voice with some more positive thoughts. And don't beat yourself up, and don't be that hard on yourself, because you're gonna get there. It's gonna get better, and really, trust me, like back then, if I met myself, you know, like from now, like if my little self met myself here, I think the old me wouldn't believe that I'm actually her, because I have made so much progress. And back then I would not believe that I could ever actually get here. And that's why you can't give up. No matter how difficult it gets, you just can't give up, and you need to keep going, because really it will get better. It feels absolutely impossible now, but it's not impossible. And that is actually how I'm gonna end this video. I was talking so much that I didn't even drink my hot chocolate, and it's pretty cold now. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my first cozy talk and the first video of the self-love month. Like I said, definitely subscribe to my channel, because epic, awesome, more videos like this, wow, that, what a sentence, are just coming on this channel. And yeah, I'm so freaking excited to be back. It's gonna be epic. If you have any video requests for this month on the topic of self-love, definitely let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, have a brilliant day, and see you soon in my next video. Bye!